Stage, the Task Force Director of Development, to present this year's corporate award. Please welcome David Alexander.
Hello, Creating Change. I am so thrilled to be here again. I have to say it was a little rough getting to Creating Change this year. You've all seen the weather in New York. It has been a rough winter in New York. I came into it a little rough myself, but after this week at the conference with the Racial Justice Institute on Wednesday, the record number of institutes on Thursday, we had Anise Parker, we had Laverne Cox, we had the HIV/AIDS plenary yesterday, and forgetting so many other things. But it has been such, and I say this every year, that it was the best conference that I've seen so far, but really this year in my mind was the best conference that we've had so far. It really has been incredible. I'm particularly thrilled this year to also have the honor to present our Corporate Leadership Award to a company that I have had, that the task force and myself have had a great relationship with for about 4 or 5 years now, which is obviously Southwest Airlines. I hope you've noticed over the past several days that Southwest has had a really significant presence at this year's conference. And they've been a significant supporter for the task force and for our community for 4 or 5 years now. So people know the support the task force has provided us has provided literally travel and transportation for hundreds and hundreds of leaders and organizers and activists to be able to participate through Creating Change Conference and to be able to participate throughout the year in task force trainings that we continue to conduct across the country. In fact, at the conference this year, Southwest Airlines, we utilized literally 200 tickets from Southwest Airlines to make sure that key people were able to actually be here at the conference with us. So many thanks to Southwest for making that possible. At the sake of sounding a little bit cheesy, I also want to talk for a moment about the no change fees policy, because that has really impacted not just myself, but so many people that I know do this work as well. I'm barely a community organizer myself, but I know that when I travel, I hate being restricted by the fact that if I want to change my travel plans, it's going to cost me or my organization $600 to do so. And I can't tell you how many times that I have found a meeting or an opportunity I wanted to take and didn't have to worry about the cost of changing my flight and could do what I needed to do based on what needed to get done and not the cost I had to incur. There's one story I like to tell all the time. There's one of my good colleagues who, when asked what office that she works out of for the task force, her response consistently is that she works out of the office of Southwest Airlines. It's been, and actually a quick side note, they're going to get mad at me because I'm going off script. A quick side note, anecdote I want to share about the no change fees policy is that this being Sunday, the responsibilities of the staff of the task force kind of ends later on today, and we're all flying back on Southwest Airlines tomorrow. So you can only imagine that tonight is the night that we celebrate everything that happened at Creating Change. And as you can only imagine, if you thought last night was a little crazy, tonight we step it up a notch. So, yeah. So we were very excited to fly Southwest because most of our flights are actually at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So most of us spent this morning calling Southwest Airlines and saying there's no way in hell that's going to happen. So we're really excited to actually have that policy as well. It's been an incredible 4 years working with Southwest Airlines. There's 2 quick things I want to mention about the importance of the value of the work that we've done together. One thing in particular that I was truly pleased about in the work is that I still remember the first conversations that we had with Southwest Airlines with our community relations manager, Lydia Martinez. We can get a quick round of applause for Lydia, who's here. Thank you so much for being here. But what was so valuable to me about that first conversation we had was that within minutes of having the conversation, I understood that Lydia and that Southwest Airlines, they got it. They understood the work we were doing, the mission we were doing, the social justice mission that we were on, the intersections that we work at in terms of uplifting not just our own community, but individuals across the country in being their full selves. And what was so powerful to me about that was that Lydia not only worked with the LGBT community, but she worked deeply among other communities, in particular the Latino community. And as the work of the task force, we often work specifically and strategically to build alliances and work with these communities to make sure that we are working critically in collaboration at the intersections of our work to make sure that across the board we were lifting up all of our communities. And through the work that we've been able to do together, Lydia has been able to provide us critical opportunities to meet with some organizations that she's been able to connect with. Critical organizations, many of whom are actually here today, anyone from a LULAC to an USHLI to a MALDEF to a LARAZA. And through the relationship we've had with Lydia, our relationship has been so much more than a simply transactional relationship where as a sponsor, they provide us value and we provide their logo somewhere. From day one, they have been able to provide deep value to us as an organization in building those relationships and knowing that as partners with them, we together are on this mission together and we can share significant value between each other. Yeah. And that's not to mention, of course, all the LGBT organizations that Southwest Airlines has also been able to support, and I can't list all of them, but some that I'll name right now are GLAD, the Victory Fund, the Gay Straight Alliance Network, the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce, that for years Southwest Airlines has been able to provide significant value to. The one other little important story I'll tell quickly about the value of Southwest Airlines is that I remember the first day when I met in person with our contact there at the lobby of the Hilton Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. And Lydia, I don't know if you remember this conversation, but it was the first time we met in person, so we had our icebreaker conversation. And one of the first things Lydia said to me was that she had spent the previous night with her husband at a Pat Benatar concert. And there was a piece of my heart that knew at that moment that this wasn't a relationship that was going to be worth a lot. So we're here now, 4 or 5 years later, continuing to do incredible work together. And part of me gives a little credit to Pat Benatar for all of that. The last thing I really want to say is that while Southwest has been a huge supporter of ours for the past 4 years, ourselves in the community, there are individuals that actually are upset at the support that Southwest has provided to us. And these are the same individuals that are upset anytime anyone provides any support to the LGBT community or anytime anyone says anything nice to the LGBT community. There's an organization in particular I want to call out that many people probably know called the Americans for the Truth About Homosexuality, whatever truth, exactly, thank you, who believe we have this radical deviant agenda that we're all plotting. Whatever truth this is that they're talking about. To give a little context for those that might not be as familiar with what this organization is, the Southern Poverty Law Center has actually designated them as a hate group. A couple years ago, they actually lost for a moment their 501c3 status. And wait for a moment, but they recently launched a protest against Fox News because they thought Fox News had too much of a radical queer agenda. So if you think about that for a moment, I think that gives you a good context of just how much a fringe group they are. So what I want to quickly say is, though, there are those groups that are out there that are pushing back when there are those people that are supporting our community. So it is our job as well to make our voices heard and our stories heard, to make sure it's understood that they understand the power that they are actually bringing to the work that we're able to do as well. So this organization was actually able to reach out to their constituents and encourage them to actually contact Southwest Airlines with complaints about the support that they provided to this conference. And as I mentioned, it has been deep and it has been significant for 4 years now. So I'd actually like to put up on the screens right now, if we can get on the screens. This is the contact information for Southwest Airlines. I hope if you've experienced the power of this conference and if you've seen the value of this conference that they've been able to provide and how we've been able to expand the impact of this conference, that you'll take a moment, please take a photo of that slide. I am truly honored. I've been waiting to do this for over a year now. I'm truly honored to present our Corporate Leadership Award to Ellen Torbert, the VP of Diversity Inclusion for Southwest Airlines. Thank you.
Just glide, starry-eyed, once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near. You may hear the angels cheer because we're together. Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. Just say the words and we'll beat those.
Thank you, David. Just greatly appreciate the partnership that we have. As Vice President of Diversity and Inclusion at Southwest Airlines, I am honored to be here with all of you today. When I think of a partner, there's a lot of words that come to mind: commitment, dedication, support, family, and most of all, love. Each of these words represents an important part of a strong relationship. Like any healthy relationship, it takes nurturing to allow it to build and grow into something truly special. That's how we at Southwest Airlines view our partnership with the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force. At Southwest, our desire is to make a difference in the lives of those who live and work in the communities we serve, from a deep-rooted passion to do the right thing. That passion has been a part of our DNA since we took our first flight in 1971. Some of you may not know that Houston was one of our first 3 cities back when Southwest Airlines only served the Texas triangle of Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. And being back in Houston today reminds me that although our company has gone from serving 3 cities to now serving international cities, our commitment to doing the right thing and connecting people to what's most important in their lives has never faltered. We are honored to be recognized with the Corporate Leadership Award. We are proud partners of the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force, and we look forward to continuing our strong relationship and supporting the task force as they drive their mission of creating a nation that respects the diversity of human expression and identity and creates opportunity for all. Here's to creating change. Thank you.